morning loom golders. Scratchy back with you here, and smile on my dial because every day is getting better and better out here. Little brief one this morning. I'm onto some super rich ground really. I think I've got my new home, and I opened up a big cut yesterday, and late in the day one corner of it was just paying up, getting heavier with the nuggets, 3, 4, 5 grammers. Have a look here. It's pretty deep. It's not super ridiculous, but it's 3 meters. And then down here on those, see this corner here just started to come alive, and you can see I just bush picked all around there and just ploughed all that up, and there was still little faint targets, so I'm gonna have to be careful to get all that out. And obviously all that slate is just holding, and as it drops away on that edge, as I get down to it, it's just going to come alive. So who knows whether I'll even be able to finish this cut today. I suspect once you're in there and taking off layers, it takes a long time. You don't move, which is good. You're not using much diesel, and you're pulling real money out of the ground. But just wanted to make a comment too. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is all this spoil here is really good stuff. It's got gold in it. I pulled gold off the piles, and there'll be more in it. This stuff over here is really the topsoil, and there's going to be the odd floater in it. There's no doubt that there's going to be a few bits of gold in it, but for the amount of time that it would take to detect each layer, it's not worth me doing it. From what I can tell so far from testing out layers, it was just chewing up too much time. So today I'm going to take a little bit of time, and I'm going to come over in here, and this area I think is not on the pay. There's no mullocks in there, and from what I can tell, it thins out coming into it. That's why there's no mullocks on it. There could be gold scattered through it, but I'm just going to clear a bit of this scrub here and open up an area, and I'm going to start fanning that layer out there with the excavator, and then come down with the bobcat and push it out with the bobcat, and then I'll have a mate coming in shortly who's gonna help me out and be on the piles and do bits and pieces. So he'll go over that, and we'll get our production up a little bit more, and pick out the stuff that's been left behind. He'll just 6,000 it, and it should be worth it. But you can see I'm in the jumper. Last night was pretty crisp, and it was a clear night, and it was I think it was a full moon too. And then it's come over with a little bit of a breeze, and it's a little bit cloudy, so the sun isn't there, and I'm almost shivering. Considering how warm and sparkling it's been, it's actually starting to brisk up a little bit of winter setting in. So got the jumper on. I don't know how that'll last once I start banging away in the cut, but I'm happy for a bit of cooler weather, because I've spent a month sweating my ass off. So let's cool it off, and that'll be good for digging. Anyway, this journey continues, and for those who are with me on the journey, thanks for coming along, and I hope you're enjoying. And remember to comment and have your inputs, because that all helps whatever the back end stuff on YouTube does to get these things rolling. And eventually I'll get better at these edits, and we'll do some higher production level stuff. But for now, we get these little bang together jobs, and hopefully you're enjoying it. Anyway, I'll come back with some nuggets in a little while. Yeah, so I haven't even got away from this corner bit of slate here yet. It's just, I'm only taking 3 little scrapes off this edge each time, and not even worrying about the rest of the cut. There's just so much to do. It's funny because you can see with the contour of the old cut that I did yesterday or the day before, and I was really not getting any gold there, so I sort of come forward about 3 meters or 2 meters or something, because there was just nothing in that section on that cut. But It's always the same. Now there's this gold all just here and packed up, saying, oh, well, the gold's still going that way. So I don't know where it was on that cut, but this step forward, so it just changes so dramatically each cut. And you think, oh, it's doing that, and then it just shifts. So, but I'm gonna let you watch me get this one out, because again, tucked right up in the corner, sounds like a pretty good one. I'm glad I got the jackhammer before I came up here, because this is exactly for this situation, because there's no way I'm digging down into that. And then if you get the tooth bucket out and scratch it out, yeah, it's probably fine, but you know, you can lose stuff and you get mixed up with other things, and it's just harder to deal with. So it's better to do this, and I'm not digging down into that with a pick in a hurry. So I'm very happy for this. Yeah, well, the metal detector and the jackhammer, they're not friends. I'll turn that on, the metal detector lets me know about it. Alright, I wonder where she's at now. In or out? Hard to make a call. I'm going to say still in. Oh. Okay. Sometimes when they're like that, you can just see them floating around on the top. Is that all? Is that all? A little fiddler. My goodness, this 7,000. That's crazy. That's like a gram and a half, and it sounded like it was going to be 5 grams. Still a good nugget. Nice nugget, but that 7's carrying on like a 6,000. Quick update. Everything's positive. 3 or 4 days in a row now with ounces in the tally, and next goal, I guess, will be to try to push towards 2 ounces a day, which is they're good figures. If you get anything over an ounce, I'm sort of happy with, because that really helps things move along. Now, just have a look at this cut that I'm, and late yesterday, down in that corner there on the slates, and pulled out a bunch to get us over target. Some nice heavier ones. There was a 6 grammer in there and a couple other grammers and whatever else. Now, you can see how deep we're down there. It's a solid. It's probably getting beyond the 3 metre mark there now. It's probably more like 4 metres to the bottom. And because it just falls away out into here a little bit, like this line sort of is going down into a bit more of a gully where all these workings are. It's not unexpected that might get a little bit deeper there. What I'm going to try though is I'm going to finish this off and sometimes I think that's going to happen and it's only going to be a couple of hours and it takes me the whole day, but I'm going to finish this off. I'll get the tooth bucket and scratch the slates out of there and make sure that it's well finished. Try to make that wall over there vertical so that you're not losing stuff under you when you take your next cut, or as much as you can. But what I'm going to test is I'm going to move this direction. I've got this big pile of spoil here, which is potentially sitting on ground that's got some gold under it. You can see in here, right, you can see this old line here. Now, right in this section is where a modern time miner, probably back in the 80s, has come through and taken out the mullocks and done something. Now, you have a look over here. Look how deep that is in there. All right, you have a look over here and have a look how deep it is here. Now, I'm looking at that and now of course that could have silted up. I'm going to test the bottom over here because I don't think they went to the bottom. I can't really see a lot of evidence of the slates that I'm pulling up, the white slates where the gold's sitting. I believe they might have just pulled up short, same as the old timers for the most part, getting gold out of that red layer, but not right down on that slate layer. So all of this in here, they've left all this as well. This is all actually still mullocks, so they just didn't stop. They just cut this line here and then that was it. I'm going to push all this scrub out of here and then I'm going to do some test cuts in here and see whether the bottom's been cleaned. Otherwise, before I even head in that direction, I can go back down through here and clear all this out with soil, with only a soil top that might only be a metre and a half deep, and straight onto gold. So we'll find out if they've done a half decent job. Realistically, I should find nothing there. That should be cleaned out. But I have to test it. I have to understand what they've done because I got a funny feeling that it's not done properly. So that's my mission. Just going to have a bit of a reset over there, a bit of a play around, and there might be some shallower gold if I have to move less soil to get at the good stuff. Well, that's a bonus. So let's see how this goes. The mission's still to get to that 1 ounce target, even with these other with that going on. So if that doesn't pay up, I'll have to quickly come back and reset a cut over here. Assuming, of course, that this morning session in these slates doesn't give me everything I need, and with 5 and 6 and grammars coming out, it's well possible. Well, I finished off the bottom of that big cut I was at before, and I mentioned doing a little test cut on an area where I thought they hadn't done the ground properly. Well, that's proved to be an accurate observation, because I just pulled out, I basically just dug the bottom here on this little mini pit and have a look at this. So it's probably from there to there, 5 meters. It's 4 buckets wide. And a couple of things that's quite interesting. Right, so let's have a look here. So this, you can see I've come to the slate here, and I know I've been finding it in the slate, so I wanted to find that. It looked like disturbed ground on the way down. There was bits and pieces of slate in the strata floating, and so it made me think, yes, it had been worked. Okay, fair enough. Then I noticed this bit of hard old tree here sticking up vertically, which I sheared off with the excavator bucket, but that's not a root. So that's like it's been put back. Okay, fair enough. But I found a nugget there. This is slate, this is original ground. And right there appears to be maybe not original ground. I just found a 1 grammer right here in original ground. So, and there's it's just littered with nuggets over here. Okay, so let's have a listen. I'll just cruise around and see what we... One there, at least one there, another one there. Another one there. Right, so I'm barely, just a couple of square meters on the bottom. It's just a test cut, not even a proper cut. And there's gold everywhere. So, so this ground all through here is going to have to be reworked because it hasn't been done properly. And I think maybe what they've done, they may have just, you can see where it's sheared off those old mullocks up there. See that? And it's really like a very straight edge. I reckon they might have just come up the middle and just dug it out with an excavator this way and dumped it up or something like that. Maybe processed it, I'm not sure. And so this line here, where I think this is mixed in slates and other bits and pieces, and that could be just a line in the ground right there where the excavator bucket originally came. And I'll have to just test deeper to see what's on the bottom here. But certainly right there is gold. So there might be delineation here. I'll work it out, but it's obviously been worked in some way. Good enough. Not if I can get half a dozen nuggets out of here in one little go. So that bodes well. It might mean less digging for a whole section of ground, and I potentially got some help coming in and stuff like that, and it might be easier ground for them to work rather than having to dig 4 and 5 metre cuts. So positives, good outcomes, and let's see if we can pull a couple big ones out of here that the old timers left and the new timers left. I've just come out of that little cut, and I put some slates on this edge here, because I was hacking away at it. So put the stuff that I thought might hold gold out on the edges to check it. Oh, look at that. It's just, yep. They've left it all here for us. I'm a happy man. The value of my lease is even higher. So I've decided this piece of wood came out of this hole. See all the white stuff around it? That bit of wood has been in there a long time. That's an ancient piece of wood. So I thought it might have been deposited there when, back in the 80s or something like that. That thing there is as close as you'll get to petrified wood, probably, without being petrified wood. I don't know, but I reckon that could be tens of thousands of years old. Honestly, I don't know how long it lasts in the ground, but what I've decided, and there's good reason, is that you got these rock hard slates. There's gold all in it. I'm finding gold on this wall. I'm finding gold on that wall, and the bottom's real bottom. So they haven't dug past a point. They might not dug any of this at all. It might all just be natural. It just might have a few bits to see. Oh, there's this floating slate. I thought that might have been put back, but maybe down to that level. See, there's a sort of a bit of a level there. But that bit of wood is down where I'm finding gold, and it's just an ancient bit of wood. It's still actually like wood. It's got fibres but how the hell else does it get down in there? sometimes a little avalanche there. Things go and operate in geological time. It's just mind-boggling. It just does my head in. But yeah, I don't think they've been to the bottom. I'm finding that certainly going back to underneath the excavator is going to be shallow ground. That's only let's have. Just found 2 good nuggets there. There's the excavator. So there's a metre, maybe just had over a metre and a half maybe, to get down as it runs back up the slope. So there could be a whole bunch of to prospect here, to mine properly, and that could be really useful to save having to move so much dirt. So really interesting. I'm glad I did this cut. It's paying up, so I'll just extend on from here now and keep working things out. One thing is very, very clear, and that is that the previous miners that were here did not do this properly, because I've been picking up nuggets out of this little cut, and there's, I don't know, there's plenty of nuggets there for ground that's supposed to have been mined. So have a listen to this one. A bit hard to tell how big it will be. I suppose if it keeps going down, and we couldn't do it. I do think it should be out now. Down in that slate. Brilliant ground, just that really good crunchy layer right on the slate. Yep, she's out. Okay, what do we got? Probably only a probably only 5 grammer maybe. 3 grammer, 5 grammer, who knows? A little bit bigger than a 1 grammer. That's all I'm saying. Oh, terrible pinpointing. I might just do this on purpose just to keep everyone in suspense. Oh, here he is. Oh, it looks like a solid 4 grammer.
Wow.
It's just like everywhere.
Where you going?
Midge has arrived. My helper. Well, good morning, Loom Golders. Scratchy here. Changes, evolving, things happening. I'm over on this area that has been pretty rich, and let's have a bit of a scan here. So talked about it yesterday, and there's a cut there that I did the other day. It was pretty good, big, deep though. It's 4 meters off that edge, at least into there, and that's all mullocks out there all the way through. It's all been worked over there further, and it apparently had been worked in along here as well, as it's been surfaced, see? But I couldn't see any evidence that the slates had been pulled up, and I was of the opinion, so there's still mullocks running through here, I was of the opinion they just took the top off, and goodness knows what they did with it. They just must have run it through a sluice. So took a cut there and pulled almost an ounce out of that little cut just there, which says to me I just haven't done the job properly. So that bodes pretty well. So what else has happened is I've got help come in, so that'll potentially improve some of the, look at that sunrise there, it's beautiful, it's sparkling. It's only like 3 degrees though, it's crispy, I'm feeling it in the fingers. I got some hired help, so that'll speed up some of the recovery. I cut down, so all this slate piles that I've been that's the pay layer I've been separating out, that will then be spread out in layers and gone back over with the 6000 to pull out the really fine stuff. And I've also got a moo cow arriving, and he's going to be working over here with the 27 tonner on a new cut. He just couldn't resist the rich ground, so he's packed up and wasn't quite good enough, and you know, that was true. We need to go onto the better ground, and probably should have been here 3 or 4 weeks ago, but here's what it is. I have a feeling that this cut over here could be even richer than where I am over there. It's in a really interesting spot. I mean, this is so rich everywhere through here, it's incredible. But this is going to pay really well. See, there's a dam up there that's been dug out, and I might quickly run over and show you. There's a wallaby. But yeah, this is going to have a really good, rich pay layer in the bottom of it. But there's been a big dam dug out, and the dams that have been dug out around here, they've been digging out to get down, I believe, onto this ancient conglomerate. And I've been talking about this conglomerate, and this is one of the few areas where you can actually see it mined or exposed. So I'll quickly just have a look over here and show you while I'm in the vicinity, and understand what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know if it's holding or whether there's gold under it. I suspect it could be a bit of both, but maybe this is like a capping conglomerate, and underneath it's like a really rich ancient paleo. But here's what we're talking about. So this is, it's just rock, but it's all travelled quartz, it's stone, and it's already rounded quartz and compressed, so that is a high compression. Like I said, it's metamorphosized into a crazy, like, and it's soft river travelled stone. So yeah, so it's breaking off there, but this stuff is rock hard concrete. So there's a mountain of it there. Look at that. It's been pulled out of a channel. But this area is also rich. There's really work in here to work it all out and get down to it. And even when you get down to these slates, and then, you know, like what's under the slate, and push down a bit further and eventually hit these layers and go, okay, well, what happens when we go through that? You got a rock hammer through that, and then what's underneath that? And there's massive ancient leads down deep, so we might take off certain layers and then find out that we can go down and find, you know, literal ton load pay layers down lower, you know, in the future years when we can afford to do that sort of stuff. Who knows? But I'm not alone anymore. There's another worker.
Hello, William Golders.
Yeah, he knows what to say. Look, he's well trained. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it looks like the moo cow's coming. So it's all about to kick off. So, all right. We're out for the moment, and I'll be taking a break soon to go back. So I've got to get a lot done in the next few days to set up for my absence, and then, yeah, hopefully gold keeps coming out while I'm gone. Anyway, wish us luck. Wish him luck. He's in training. Howdy, howdy, folks. Just a little check-in, and we're on this mini cut here. And I say where because I got a helper. I got a helper today, a high-vis helper. This is Mitmidge, and he helps, and he's a good old mate. And he is on the pick. I'm testing out his fitness. It seems to be going all right so far. It's still early in the day. So listen to this. We've been just, look at it, we're just bulldozing. We've been in here for probably 40 minutes and there's multiple nuggets coming out of each hole. And so screamer there, another screamer still in there. We just pulled all these out. I think there's more screamers. There's one, another good one there. Oh, it's just mad. Sometimes you just, oh, there's another one there. One there. Blanking out there. Hopefully that's a good one.
Yeah, I think so. I think it will be.
Let's look. Yeah, that's got to be a couple of grams, surely. We've picked a lot of nuggets. A lot of it's pretty small-ish so far. We've probably picked 30 or 40. And it's about time that the weight starts coming in, and this is about where it will as we start to head down on this cut, because we're hitting the slates here at the back, and that's where you start pulling all the nuggets. But as we advance, as the slates move downhill, they sort of fall away as I get closer to it with the excavator. It makes a lot of racket for a grammer, doesn't it? But it's a nice nugget.
Nice little chunk, got some thickness to it.
Anyway, I'll that's our little check-in. That's our little check-in where you $50 and $100 Tic Tacs out of the ground. Not bad. Well, I just checked out because we thought we got that one. See, there's that many nuggets. That one that just came out. Still another one in there. So it's amazing. Like some of these holders, they've got 20 nuggets in them, and I'm not lying about it. And you don't even realise. You start digging, and think it's just going to be one nugget. It doesn't even sound anything that special. And you just go down and then you find 3 or 4 in the spoil, and then you hear another one in the hole and you dig that one, and next thing you know there's 2 or 3 in the spoil, and then there's still one in the hole, and it just, next thing you know you've been there for bloody more than half an hour just on one little hole. I think it's here at the front. Yeah, it's in there. Or is it? There's not another one in the ground there, is it?
Could be another one in the ground.
No. The challenge actually becomes dealing with your spoil and creating an area to work in, because there's that many targets around, you can't swing your coil without hitting a target, and becomes pretty messy. Oh, you dropped it. Look, he dropped it through his finger. His non-existent finger.
It probably did. It'll be in here somewhere.
Oh, 101 mistakes.
I can see it.
101 mistakes for the fingerless Mitmidge.
Actually, it's
You're gonna get.
it's folded.
You're gonna get doctored. You pay. Yeah, very good. Adding them up. Point twos, point threes, point fives. So that hole I just mentioned was there. And this is extension of that hole. Pulled, I don't know, 3 or 4 more out since I just pulled that one out. And there's a continuing noise. So we'll see if we can open this one up. They come with that same contour that I did from this way. Strike it, like from that angle.
This way.
Yeah, and it goes underneath. Pull that slate up. Yeah, put your glass. Yeah, that could be all right. Now it could be coming on to. That's coming on to jackhammer level. Now you know. That's the hard. That's the stuff that you go through, that soft schist, that soft slate.
Yeah.
And then you start hitting that, and you're right. That's out anyway. Oh no. Yeah. So, when you're doing sort of 1 hour scrapes. There's a lot of little, but these ones that were like 1.5 grams, 2 grammers, they sort of start to add up. So, okay, away you go. All right, we've been jackhammering away at this, coming to the end of this cut, but there's like a rainbow pocket, rainbow coloured gravels with white quartz in it and black slates, all sorts of colours, and it's just payday, payday, payday. And whatever's in here is not too bad. If it's not out now, we'll know it. Now, we've already pulled 2 or 3 out of there. It's got to be a couple of grams at least, surely. We're pretty sure we're over our daily target, but it'd be nice to get a couple of fatties.
not even, it's just loud, not even that big.
We just did that the other day too. Oh goodness, that was so loud in there.
Yeah,
That was like inverted. There's got to be another one in there, surely.